Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing all the details of the Throuple divorce. Initially, I was planning on making one big video including a timeline of events leading up to the current state of the situation. However, when it comes to this topic, I think what I'm going to do is just continuously upload as more information becomes available. This way, you guys don't have to wait. As soon as I receive an update, you'll be updated, so I apologize if these videos are sloppier than usual. Okay, let's get caught up. There have been so many rumors circulating social media as to the reason for the breakdown in friendship between Jeffree, Manny, and Laura, so let me tell you what I know. If you recall, back in August, Jeffree, Manny, Laura, and her husband Ty went to Bora Bora to celebrate Nathan's birthday. I don't know if you could tell through their snaps, but to me, something definitely seemed off. Personally, I felt like I could sense tension between them. Being that I followed the three of them for so long, I feel like I can pick up on certain things, even if it's just from Snapchat footage. And to me, at that time, their snaps felt forced. Now, in June of this year, Jeffree announced that Nathan's brother Zach had moved out of the Star residence after being there for 10 months, as seen in this snap.
So I haven't lived alone. Of course I live with Nate, but I haven't lived alone in 10 months because Nate's brother Zach has been living at my house. And girl, the day has finally come. So a few days ago he moved back to Michigan. Girl, Cali ain't for everyone, bitch. It's a harsh motherfucking reality out here. But I am just so happy to have the house to ourselves. So Nathan and the dogs and myself are going to enjoy a nice long night on the couch, watching some movies and just enjoying our time together. So I'm really happy. And before anyone makes it into anything, some things just don't work out, and family is always going to be family, but I am happy to be with my baby.
This was also when people started to speculate as to whether Jeffree and NIKITA were still friends, as they hadn't been seen together in some time. Speculation continued to grow and was at an all-time high in August, which is when I started tweeting about it. I spoke more about this in my video regarding the Jeffree, NIKITA, and Zach drama, which I'll link in the description box below if you're interested. Anyway, the trip to Bora Bora was when I started noticing tension between the trio, which, as I said, was also the peak of speculation with respect to the Jeffree and NIKITA breakup. Jeffree made attempts to dispel the rumors on September 5th in these tweets. He tweeted, "If I don't see a close friend for over a month and we aren't photographed together, it doesn't mean we hate each other, lol, #relax. He went on to clarify further by tweeting, "That tweet was for everyone asking if @NIKITA, DRAGUN, and I are quote-unquote friends still. No bitch, we're soulmates and sisters for life." Well, here we are in November, and although neither party has publicly confirmed that they're no longer soulmates and sisters for life, the reality is that they are not friends, and that's the real tea, and it's been like that for some time now. Why is the breakdown in friendship between Jeffree and NIKITA related to the Throuple divorce? Because now this is exclusive tea, but from what I've heard from multiple sources is that whatever the issue was with NIKITA, whether it was between NIKITA and Zach or NIKITA and Jeffree, whatever it was, Manny stood up for NIKITA, and that did not go over well with Mr. Star. Because, as I'm sure you're aware, you do not go against Jeffree, and Manny sided with who he believed was right in this situation, and that was NIKITA. Since then, from what I've heard, is that it's been a gradual distancing / decline in both Manny and Jeffree's friendship and Laura and Jeffree's friendship. My understanding is that there wasn't just one particular incident. It was more of an accumulation of things and maybe even a realization on behalf of both Manny and Laura. However, the NIKITA issue drove a huge wedge in the friendship, and the breakup between Jeffree and Gabriel Zamora only added more fuel to the fire. As we know, Jeffree does not have the best track record when it comes to friendships, and to be fair, Manny and Laura have been through their share of friends. However, with Jeffree, when he ends a friendship, it usually involves some sort of public embarrassment for the other party involved. And just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it won't happen in the future. If you recall, during the NIKKIE tutorials and Two-Face drama, where he outed that NIKKIE was underpaid by Two-Face, he made it seem as though he was trying to help NIKKIE, but in reality, he was simply using NIKKIE as a pawn to get to Jared Blandino, who was the former owner of Two-Face. He also did something similar when he and Jackie AINA went at it. I have videos on both of these issues, which I'll link in the description box below if you're interested. Anyway, during his Snapchat rant about the NIKKIE and Two-Face drama, he snapped something which in my opinion could be interpreted as a threat, but not only that, it gave me good insight as to what it must be like to be his friend. The snap was deleted almost immediately, but here it is in case you haven't seen it yet.
And a lot of you are like, okay, how come she's never said anything about your friendship? Because I have dirt on everyone, and they know to keep their mouths shut.
Now, I've said this before, and you can read more about it in an article published on REVELIST.com, which I'll leave the link for in the description box if you want to check it out. But I've heard from very good sources / witnesses that while on a brand trip, Jeffree allegedly threatened to ruin Nikki after their falling out, which is probably why she's remained silent out of pure fear. Threats such as these and threats of legal action seem to be a trend when it comes to Mr. Star, and this is why I believe that influencers don't speak up when it comes to him. Simply put, people are scared of him, scared of what he's capable of, and scared of his fans coming for them. I'll get into more about how this may be related to this situation in a bit, but for now, let's talk about the rumors that Jeffree invested in Manny and Laura's brands, which, by the way, is 100% false. Not only that, but I believe it is also 100% manufactured. Now, some of you may not agree or even like what I'm going to present to you because I understand that Jeffree has a diehard following, and it seems no matter what the man does, his actions always seem to be excused. But if you are a Jeffree fan, that is totally okay. I respect that, but at least hear me out and remember that I'm allowed to have my own opinion and view on this situation as well. So how did this rumor start? Because it appears it came out of left field, or was it planted to spin the situation in a certain direction? On November 16th, I received a cryptic DM on Instagram from an account whose handle is BurnerInsta3456. Basically, it was made to look as though it was two friends talking with one having inside knowledge of the situation, which the other friend then sends to me anonymously. I'll read the messages out, but it's important to note that these exact messages were sent to all or most of the drama channels, and two of them made stories from it. Prior to these messages, there were no rumors of Jeffree investing in Manny and Laura's brands. There was minor speculation that they were using the same lab as Jeffree when they announced that they were coming out with their own lines, but there was no talk of Jeffree investing and then pulling his investment from Manny due to Laura's sales until this message was circulated. The message reads as follows. Hi, I just want to send this convo along from earlier today. I really can't think of a way to verify it without putting people's reputations or jobs on the line, in brackets mine and my friend, but if you can think of a way where it's safe, let me know. Anyway, I've never shared dirt, but I just couldn't hold this in. I'm going to refer to them as Person A and Person B just because it's easier that way. So Person A starts off by saying, okay, what's the tea on the new Jeffree, Nate, and Manny Laura stuff? Person B responded with, haha, I was almost gonna message you yesterday, but thought I'd just not bother you, but it's actually hella sad. Pisses me off. Person A responded with question marks. Person B then responded and said, did you know Laura had a shadow palette that came out recently? Person A responded with, yeah. Person B responded with, well, the only reason she had that shit was because Jeffree invested in her. Like legit invested in her company with money, plus hooked her up with all her contacts, got her meetings, she was using the same lab he does for JSC, everything. Person A responded with, damn, I read people saying that he helped her, but I didn't know all of that. So, bad blood cause of that, question mark? Person B responded with, basically, the palette didn't do well, as you probably know, ha ha ha. Was a huge flop, so Jeffree made it known that he didn't want to continue investing in makeup businesses that weren't his own. Manny was also supposed to come out with his own makeup line, basically was gonna have the same deal as Laura. Jeffree would invest in the same way, but since Jeffree changed his mind, in brackets cause he didn't want to lose money, they dropped him. Person A responded with, oh my god, you know how I feel about Jeffree, but that's disgusting. Just using him for his money and then after that ended, just let him go, question mark? Person B responded with, basically gave me a whole new view on those two. Super unprofessional too. Person A responded with, yes, it was a bad business move for Jeffree, so why did he do it? No financial advisor would advise you to invest in businesses that you were gonna lose money in. No wonder they're cozying up to Jaclyn Hill to get those money bags. Person B responded with, very greedy. Person A then responded with, sorry to bring it up, LOL. Person B responded and said, it's okay, like I said, it's sad. They just used him for his money, and after he decided he didn't want to give away his money, they threw him out like yesterday's trash. Oh, and that Laura palette, a few days after it launched, they claimed it quote unquote sold out, but it never did. They just said that to try and hype it up. It never actually sold out. Person A responds and says, oh my god, do brands usually do that? Person B responded and said, not that I know of. Okay, now before I get into my theory on those DMs, let me just say that almost immediately after receipt of those messages, two drama channels who upload daily, sometimes even multiple times throughout the day depending on what's going on at the time, but almost immediately two videos were put out including the aforementioned DMs. Meanwhile, on that same day, Jeffree broke his silence on the situation when he responded to someone's tweet saying that Manny had not called him for his birthday, and also went on to tell that person person to stop defending someone, meaning Manny, who could quote-unquote give one less fuck about you. I went into detail about this in my first video, so I'm not going to go through it and read the entire thread again. But anyway, Jeffree deleted his tweet shortly after it was posted, but obviously I got a screenshot of it, and so did a lot of others because my DMs were blowing up. Now, obviously, being that the screenshot was circulating on social media, I'm sure Manny faced a shitload of backlash from it, which in turn forced him to address the issue by tweeting, "For the record, Laura and I both texted Jeffree happy birthday yesterday." Now, this was on the 16th. By the 17th, rumors about Manny and Laura using Jeffree to invest in their brands had spread like wildfire, obviously due to more and more views accumulating on those videos, which then spread over to social media, and the accusations against Manny and Laura were out of control. Manny tweets, "I'm lolling at some of the rumors people love to spread about me and the beauty community. Like, wow, does your arm hurt from reaching that far? Ha ha ha." Someone responds to him and says, "All I know is that you can't use people. Nothing good you have will last when you get it dishonestly." Manny responds and says, "That is 100% correct. Thank God I've never used anyone, and I can say that with a very clear conscience." Later that night, likely in an effort to dispel some of the rumors of Jeffree investing in his brand, Manny tweeted, "Just got some more samples in brackets for my brand, and holy shit, I'm excited. And just so we're all clear, I am doing this all on my own, no investors, never asked anyone to invest ever, no loans, etc. All me, hard work pays off." On November 18th, also likely in an effort to dispel some of the rumors that Jeffree invested in her brand, Laura tweeted, "Laura Lee Los Angeles was created by me and my husband alone and no investors. I clearly stated this in my brand launch video." That same night, Manny won Influencer of the Year at the American Influencer Awards, and 4 days prior, it was announced that he made Forbes 30 Under 30 list. On the 19th, which was the day after the AIAs, Jeffree posted this photo on Instagram as part of his new Skin Frost Pro palettes campaign, and as you can see, Manny liked the photo. Jeffree then posted that same photo to Twitter with the caption, "Walking into my ex-best friend's funeral like ... Why did I mention Manny's recent accolades? Well, I think it was just a little too much Manny clout for Jeffree, and he needed to stir the pot and direct attention to himself. Even though Jeffree won Influencer-owned Makeup Brand of the Year, it's not quite the same as being Influencer of the Year while sitting on Forbes 30 Under 30. In my opinion, this was done to take the spotlight off Manny and put it on himself in his upcoming holiday collection launch. There's nothing better than controversy to boost sales, and Jeffree is no dummy when it comes to capitalizing on drama. Anyway, in the thread of the "walking into my ex-best friend's funeral" like post, Trish commented, "They're all money-hungry snakes who were only invested in a friendship with Jeffree for fame and money when Jeffree was actually loyal to them." Haunted by Makeup responded saying, "I said basically the same on a tweet of Manny's and he blocked me." My Name is Evie commented and said, "Does he really think blocking people will get him anywhere? He basically made it so obvious it's his fault." Then Jeffree chimes in and says, "Damn," which only further perpetuates the fact that Manny and Laura used him for fame and money. He could have shut it down right then and there, but he chose to lead people to believe that he's the victim. While we're on this topic, as far as the rumors of Manny and Laura using Jeffree for fame, as you can see here, in August 2015, Manny had already reached 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, and by April 2016, he was already at 1 million. As for Laura, in February 2016, she was at 700,000, by April 2016, she was at 900,000, and by October 2016, she was almost at 2 million. Jeffree has only been uploading consistently on YouTube for around 1.5 years, and yes, he had a large fan base from his MySpace days, but Manny and Laura were doing very well on their own before he came along. This is not to say that Jeffree hasn't helped them at all. What I'm saying is that I think they all helped each other. I think Manny and Laura helped Jeffree transition to YouTube, and I think Jeffree has helped them in return because that's what friends do. Do I think Manny and Laura used Jeffree for money? Absolutely not. I believe they'd all still be super successful had they not met at all because they were all independently successful before. One area where Jeffree obviously helped Manny and Laura is with their merch. Now, in case you don't know, Jeffree is a partner of Killer Merch, which is a full-service merchandising company, meaning that they have the ability to handle everything from design, production to fulfillment, and they're the company that handles Manny and Laura's merch. Now, although Jeffree probably expedited the process, Manny and Laura would still be obligated to pay for their services, which Jeffree in turn profits from, which is totally fine, but they both mutually benefit from this situation. Manny and Laura make money, and so does Jeffree, which is probably why he promoted their merch so heavily when it first launched. By the way, the owner of Killer Merch is also an investor of Jeffree Star Cosmetics, as you can see in this document, which is public record. Now, remember Remember the other day when Jeffree snapped this?
And I'll be honest, of course, you know, the journey to get here was not fucking easy, but I wanted to create a company where I could make money off of my own shipping. I could control it all. I can give my customers the best rates. And I could also have an operation where other people can come in and use my center for fulfillment. So if you guys knew everyone that I sold, you might be shook to the ground. Or not sold, but like people that I ship and actually work on.
Now, I believe he was referring to Manny and Laura because he shares that warehouse with Killer Merch, and that's where Manny and Laura's merch ships from. Does that mean that he's an investor in their brands? No, but I think that's what he wants you to believe. Jeffree also included this in that same snap.
I know that there is a lot going on. And you guys are smart. You guys are fucking smart, and I live for that. So I love you guys. Be inspired, and always do you.
Now, when he was talking about his fans being smart, I believe he was referring to the rumors of him investing and being used by Manny and Laura, which brings me back to those DMs that all the drama channels received on Instagram. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I believe those DMs were planted by someone in Jeffree's camp because despite what you've heard, the trio were not on good terms at the time of those DMs, and I personally believe that this is the way Jeffree wanted to spin the situation. I'm not saying that you guys have to believe me because you are entitled to your own opinions, but I strongly believe that this was the case and he continued to run with it. Why not shut it down rather than perpetuating it further? I'm telling you, something is very off here, and I think things will continue to unravel as time goes on. But let's talk about the photo that had all of social media shook to the core. On November 20th, Manny and Jeffree both posted pictures together on their Snapchats after not being seen or photographed together in quite a while. Jeffree reposted the photo to Twitter with the caption that read as follows: "When people try to break up a friendship that's stronger than gold, try again." This tweet has since been deleted, but if you recall, he tweeted something similar with NIKITA as I showed earlier in the video, and a month later the friendship was over. In my opinion, this was strictly a PR move to stop the rumors and speculation. Manny went on to snap and say that him and Jeffree are fine and that friendships go through this all the time and they're just basically finding their way through it, which is totally understandable until someone commented on this tweet and said, "You were just throwing shade at him, quote unquote ex-best friend." Jeffree responded with, "Wasn't referring to him." Someone else responded and said, "I hope it isn't Laura. She may be a little nervy, but she's got a good soul." Jeffree responded to that person and said, "You know nothing about her personally. Her soul is pure evil." All of a sudden, from that one tweet, Manny was let off the hook and everything came crashing down onto Laura's shoulders. First of all, I do not believe for 1 second that Jeffree wasn't referring to Manny with that ex-best friend's funeral tweet. I think after his photo op with Manny, he made it look like it was Laura because it fit his narrative. Now, here's some inside tea. I've heard from a few people now that Jeffree's mission is to take Laura down. Not only that, but he wants to use the current drama between her and Jackie AINA to pile on her. Not only that, but he actually wants to use Jackie AINA to help him and even went so far as to unblock her on social media. He unblocked her to use her. I mean... Now, I don't think Jackie would give him the time of day, but can you imagine the nerve once again thinking he can use someone as a pawn to get to someone else, and the fact that it's anti-Jackie blows my fucking mind. You guys, this is only the beginning, and as for Jeffree and Manny's picture together, in my opinion, it's just a band-aid which is only prolonging the inevitable. Well, you guys, I don't even know what to think anymore, but like I said, this is just the beginning. Let me know how you feel about everything, and listen, I'm not a fan of Jeffree, I will say that up front. But if I believe he's right in this situation, I will always say so, no matter how I feel about him personally. That being said, don't get me wrong, I don't believe Manny and Laura are totally innocent in this situation, but let me know your thoughts. I'm especially interested to hear what you think about those Instagram DMs. Do you think they were planted? Let me know. That is finally it for this video. I think we're all caught up now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at HereForTheT2, and I'll talk to you guys again soon in my next video. Bye!